The human experience is often described as a journey of self-discovery and understanding. Essentially, this quest is an endeavor to unravel the mysteries of our existence, to explore the depths of our consciousness, and to find the truth about who we really are. It is a journey that transcends the limits of time, culture, and tradition, because the search for truth is a universal endeavor that has been at the heart of human research for millennia. The crucial point of self-discovery is recognizing our true nature, divine and eternal. This perspective is not a mere intellectual exercise, but a profound change in consciousness. It is an understanding that beneath the layers of illusion and ignorance, there exists an unchanging essence, an essence that connects us to the very source of all existence. This recognition is not limited to any specific spiritual or philosophical tradition. It is a universal concept that echoes in the history of human wisdom. Whether we explore the teachings of Vedanta philosophy, Buddhist wisdom, or the contemplative practices of Christians, they all have a common thread: the profound revelation of our unity with the divine. The journey of self-discovery often resembles a labyrinth, a winding path full of twists and turns, challenges and triumphs. It's not a linear progression, but a cyclical journey of self-discovery. We may encounter moments of clarity and epiphanies, followed by periods of doubt and confusion. However, each step takes us closer to the center, the heart of our true nature. We confront our own shadows, our fears, and our attachments. We must be prepared to face the uncomfortable truths about ourselves, the conditioning patterns, prejudices, and illusions of the ego. For it is through this inner recognition that we gain profound insights and finally transform ourselves. It's an alchemical process that involves surrendering to the greater forces at play in the universe. Surrender is not an act of resignation, but a deep letting go, a renunciation of our attachment to control and the ego. It is a recognition that there are forces beyond our comprehension at work in the cosmos. By surrendering, we align ourselves with these forces, inviting their guidance on our path to self-discovery. And so, we discover the depth of reality. It's a reality that transcends the limitations of our mundane perception, a reality that is both inspiring and humbling. This depth reveals that there is always more to explore, more to understand, and more to experience. The journey of self-discovery is an exploration that seeks to dissipate the clouds of ignorance that often obscure our understanding of reality. These clouds, like the fog that covers a landscape, hinder our ability to perceive the deeper and unchanging truths that are found beneath the surface of our lives. Ignorance, in this context, is not simply the absence of knowledge. It is a profound mistaken perception of reality, a state of unconsciousness that keeps us entangled in a web of illusions. Think about it as a pair of foggy glasses through which we perceive the world. It is these glasses that are distorting our vision. This ignorance has consequences. It gives rise to a sense of isolation, of existential separation from the great immensity of existence. It promotes a fixation on the ephemeral and the material, leading us to believe that the pursuit of transitory pleasures and possessions is the essence of our lives. I believe that the highest knowledge is the understanding of that which unveils unchanging reality. Through this perspective, some believe they receive a profound vision of that which exceeds our common senses, something that has no cause, is indefinable, devoid of eyes, ears, hands, or feet, permeating everything, that which eternally persists, the origin of everything. From this perspective, we embark on a journey to the essence of our existence. We don't stop at specific names or concepts, but delve into the deep understanding that underlies us. It's not about labeling or naming, but about learning something fundamental that transcends our sensory perception. The core of our existence, let's call it higher reality is the very structure of our being. Within it, we live, move, and have our existence. It's a concept mentioned several times in the teachings of many ancient philosophical traditions. Some of these philosophies elucidate that our authentic nature is divine, immaculate, and eternally liberated. We don't strive to become the higher reality. We are inseparable from it. Our true self, the I, merges harmoniously with this higher reality. But one question remains. If our authentic nature is divine, why do we remain profoundly unaware of it? Why does true reality escape our grasp? The answer to this riddle, I believe, is in the profound concept we describe as ignorance. This veil surrounds both our genuine essence and the true nature of the world around us. It is ignorance that obscures our perception, creating a cloud of illusion over the truth. This topic, about the higher reality, is a gateway to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe we live in. Imagine for a moment that the higher reality is like a radiant sun, constantly shining above us. It is the source of truth, wisdom, and boundless love. However, there is a veil, like a cloud of ignorance that obscures this brilliant source. This cloud is what prevents us from recognizing and enjoying the warmth and radiance of the higher reality. This ignorance is not merely the absence of knowledge, it is an active force that distorts our perception of reality. It is the veil that makes us see ourselves as separate and finite beings, disconnected from the cosmic vastness. We become entangled in the web of ego, attachment, desires, and fears, all because of this veil of ignorance. But how can we lift this veil of ignorance? How can we pass through the clouds and contemplate the radiant sun of higher reality? A simple and powerful way is through self-reflection and introspection. By turning our focus internally, we begin to unravel the layers of conditioning, prejudices, and false identities that ignorance has built up around us. This inner journey allows us to recognize our true nature, our inherent divinity, which is linked to the higher reality. Another way is through cultivating our virtues. When we act with kindness, compassion, and patience, we create waves that gently disperse the clouds of ignorance. These virtuous actions align us with the harmonious flow of the universe, revealing the interconnectedness of all beings. In addition, meditation and mindfulness, which are also powerful tools for removing the clouds of ignorance, are very common and have already been discussed here on the channel a few times. By calming the turbulence of our mind, we gain clarity and insight. We pass through the veil of illusion and, in those moments of stillness, we witness the higher reality with profound clarity. The nature of ignorance is a profound mystery. We cannot understand why it exists, nor can we identify its origins. What we do know, for sure, is that, like any form of ignorance, it dissolves in the presence of knowledge, the knowledge of our inherent divinity. As the illusion falls away, ignorance disappears forever. So, as we walk the dark path of ignorance, we perceive ourselves as mortal beings, surrounded by a universe of names and forms, a universe limited by time, space, and causality. In this state, we become deeply aware of our limitations and our suffering. But when our mistaken perception is corrected, our suffering also ends. We are totally unaware of our true nature because we consistently identify with our body, emotions, and thoughts, losing sight of our unchanging core, which is pure consciousness. The constantly changing world we observe around us can be compared to moving images on a movie screen. Without the unchanging screen behind it, there can be no movie. In the same way, behind this constantly changing world is the unchanging essence, the substratum of existence, which gives the world its reality. However, for us, This reality is conditioned, like a distorted mirror, subject to the restrictions of time, space, and causality, the law of cause and effect. Moreover, our perception of reality remains obscured by mistaken identifications. We identify with the body, the mind, and the ego, instead of recognizing our true self, the divine within us. This perception generates even more ignorance and suffering, creating a domino effect. For example, by identifying with the body and mind, we fear disease, old age, and death. By identifying with the ego, we experience anger, hate, and many other torments. But the truth is, none of this changes our true nature. This same ignorance can blind us when we observe the people around us. Sometimes, we may think that we are better than others, simply because we have some spiritual knowledge. And this is where an important point comes into play. We must understand that each of us has our own moment, our own awakening. Know that you and me are no more spiritually evolved than anyone else. Everyone has their own journey, so we must respect everyone's path. If you think that someone is suffering because of spiritual ignorance, I ask you to reflect on the following message. The feeling of pain, while seeing others suffer in spiritual ignorance, will continue so long as you identify with pain yourself. The universe is a mirror, and everything you witness in external reality is a reflection of everything you hold within. When you feel pain, ask yourself, what am I holding within that brings this pain within me? Let the awareness take you deeper and then address the core issue. Now, having said that, let me say that there is no reason to feel pain if you see people in so-called spiritual ignorance. Each individual soul is on their own journey and experiencing life according to their choice. Each one is learning, evolving, and growing at their own pace. Do you feel sorry for a kindergarten child who doesn't know how to do algebra? You know that this child has just started school, and slowly, over the years, as this child progresses, this child will reach the appropriate grade in school and learn advanced math. In the same way, consciousness also evolves in stages for each soul, and so we simply need to be compassionate and not feel pain, because if you feel pain, then you are also judging them. Some people simply want to make the most of the illusory world, while others have suffered so much that now they are ready to awaken and seek the truth of their existence. Everyone chooses their own life plan. And who can judge these matters? None of us. It's none of anyone's business to judge others based on what seems to be true. Sometimes our judgment that someone is living in spiritual ignorance may be a reflection of our own ignorance, and the other person may be much more spiritually advanced than we are. So remember, just because someone is choosing to remain supposedly ignorant now, it doesn't mean that they can't suddenly awaken and transform. So, just try to observe people and their choices as they are, without any judgment, and leave them alone. We make conscious decisions for ourselves and only hold love and compassion for everyone else around us. Ignorance can be compared to the clouds that obscure the sun. The sun remains in the sky, but the dense cloud cover prevents us from seeing it. When the clouds disperse, we become aware that the sun has been there all along. Our clouds, let's call them distractions, such as selfishness, hate, greed, desire, anger, and ambition, are dissipated when we meditate on our true nature. They also dissipate when we consistently think and act in ways that reflect our true essence. This is what we could call embracing truthfulness, purity, contentment, self-control, and patience. This mental purification removes the clouds of ignorance, allowing our divine nature to shine through. In essence, the journey to dispel ignorance is a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. It is an awakening to the perspective that we are not separate from the higher reality, but are an integral part of it. The deeper reality is not a distant or abstract concept. It is the essence of our very being, the source of our consciousness. By turning our awareness inside, we can touch this eternal source, recognizing that it is the essence of who we are. A crucial aspect of this journey is the cultivation of letting go. Letting go doesn't mean retiring from life, but rather releasing our attachment to the transitory and ephemeral aspects of it. It's about freeing ourselves from the bonds of material possessions, passing pleasures and desires that often entangle us. Letting go allows us to create space for a deeper connection with unchanging reality. It invites us to recognize that the search for happiness and lasting fulfillment is not found in the outside world, but within our own hearts. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. Thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care and see you soon.